This video is sponsored by the subscribe button, as we are going for 20,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. Hello there, welcome to the channel, and today we have a very exciting video where I'm going over every LEGO Star Wars set that is currently rumored for 2026. Of course, take everything in this video with a grain of salt, but first we'll be covering a lot of the more talked about sets, and then we'll be talking about sets that are still likely going to happen but haven't been confirmed by official, more reliable sources. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like as well as commenting your thoughts, and let's get on with all the sets. So starting off with the January sets, we have set number 30727. This is going to be Darth Vader's TIE Advanced, coming in with 68 pieces and a $5 price tag. It's going to be fun to get a poly bag of this, as I don't think LEGO's ever made a TIE Advanced poly bag, and it will definitely go well with the upcoming TIE Advanced playset that we're going to talk about in a minute. But the first real playset for January is going to be the 75436 Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike, rumored to have 58 pieces, so 10 less pieces than the TIE Advanced poly bag, and a $10 price tag. It is said to include the Mandalorian from the UCS Razor Crest, so if this is true, that is going to be an insane hit to people who were looking to invest into that Mandalorian. So definitely exciting to get a potentially very expensive minifigure in a cheap $10 set, and I hope that LEGO continues to make more cheap $10 sets, because it's something that LEGO Star Wars has been lacking, while a lot of themes have been getting $10 sets and Star Wars simply hasn't been. The next set is the 75437 Cobb Vance Speeder, coming in with 207 pieces and a $35 price tag. Expect this to be something very similar to the 2024 Bark Speeder Escape with Kelleran Beck and Grogu. This will probably be around that same size with 207 pieces. It also is set to include a Cad Bane minifigure, so 2 minifigures in a set like this, $35. Definitely overpriced, probably at least $5 to $10 too overpriced. And it's said to be based off the Book of Boba Fett, so very late from LEGO on this as well, about 4 years too late by the time this set releases in 2026. So I'm not sure what they're doing with this one, but I'm just hoping that LEGO knows exactly what they're doing, or this set will be a flop. Now the next January set is the 75440 Hoth AT-AT as a MIDI scale set, coming in with 525 pieces and a rumored price of $65. So not a large price here at all at $65. It's a pretty small set and a very low piece count of 525 pieces. So it's going to be a very small display-oriented Hoth AT-AT. And in fact, I am a little concerned because it's probably not going to be very big, and it actually has less pieces than this the October 1st gingerbread AT-AT for $5 more and no rumored minifigures. The pricing on this one really just makes no sense, because the gingerbread AT-AT actually has a Darth Vader minifigure, and this 18+ one will likely not have any minifigures. However, let's move on from that and talk about the 75441 18+ Venator. This one's coming in with 643 pieces and an $80 price tag. So an expensive mini scale set here, but it is going to pair very, very well with the Invisible Hand that released back in 2024. This is going to be a very fun set. I think a lot of people will be picking this one up. A Venator at a mini scale is something people have been asking for a while. LEGO made the Acclamator this past January, and it's very surprising to get these two sets just 1 year between releases, because they are very similar, but I'm not going to complain because it's going to look great on a lot of collector shelves alongside like their UCS Venator or their other mini scale Acclamator. Now the next January set is the 75443 Grogu's Homestead. This is a 4+ set with 107 pieces and a $20 USD price tag. Now this is just another cash grab from LEGO as far as I could tell. I'm sure these Mandalorian and Grogu sets are going to sell well with kids and adults alike, and they're just going to try to monetize off the upcoming movie. The trailer released a couple of days ago for the Mandalorian and Grogu, and LEGO would definitely make a lot of sets from the movie. Just coming based off the leaks that we're going to talk about today, LEGO's going to make a lot. But that is not it for January, as we have the 75448 Clone Shock Trooper Mech. This one coming in with 151 pieces and a $15 price tag. So I'm not sure who asked for this. I don't think the Shock Trooper Mech was on anybody's wish list. It's not the worst thing LEGO could have made for a mech, but it is definitely not the best. I would have loved to see a Commander Cody mech, or a Commander Fox mech, or a Captain Rex mech. Even though we have the Rex and the Microfighter, I still think it could have been a better choice. I think LEGO just made too many Clone Shock Troopers, and they needed to dump it off in a smaller mech set like this for just $15. It is not the best way to army build them. You have one in the 30 or even on sale. The Clone and Droid Battle Pack is like $24, so you can get that along with 3 Phase 2 generic Grunt Troopers and a bunch of droids. But finally, the last playset for January is going to be the 75449 Siege of Mandalore Battle Pack with 116 pieces, coming in at $23 apparently. So this one is said to include 2 Mandalorian Super Commandos and 2 330 Troopers. Again, this just feels like another way of LEGO making too many 330 Troopers, and unless they update the helmets and the prints on the bodies, I think it'll just be the same ones from the 2023 332nd Battle Pack. Very interesting choice. Not sure how well this one will sell aside from the fact that it has Super Commandos, but if those Super Commandos have bad prints, then I don't think a lot of people will be buying this set until it goes on at least 20 to 30% off. And finally, the last rumored January set is the 75452 buildable BB-8, coming in with 569 pieces and a $90 price tag. Now, just from this alone, 569 pieces is practically nothing with LEGO nowadays, so I'm very concerned that this is going to cost 90 rumored dollars. I don't know how LEGO is going to be able to justify this. It might just have one small BB-8 character. If LEGO updates it from the 2015 version, that's fine, but that will not be a very good selling point because $90 is going to be very, very overpriced, and I can't see this one selling too well. However, let's jump now into the March set, starting off with the 75420. This is an unnamed $40 set, and now all of the March sets are rumored to be retailer exclusive, so likely LEGO Store or Target and LEGO Store exclusives, and they're all said to be using the rumored Smart Brick in each of these sets. So they're all going to be at least 20 to 30% too expensive. That is what this rumor is saying. Now, the Smart Brick is going to add maybe some lights and some sound effects to sets, so interesting from LEGO to be doing this in a whole wave of sets. Now, the first rumored set that we know about is the 75421 Darth Vader's TIE Advanced, coming in at $70. This one is said to include a Smart Brick, so probably just a sound effect and maybe a light or a blaster effect. Nothing crazy from this one. There's also the 75422, a $70 set, and I'm expecting this to probably be a B-Wing of some sorts. It's not rumored, but I think the route that they're going here is just going to be recognizable vehicles with some sound break included. The next set is the 75423 Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, coming in at $100. This one is going to be very overpriced. It's twice the price of the last X-Wing that LEGO made, and what I'm thinking is LEGO sold so much of the last X-Wing from 2021 that they want to capitalize on that. They want to make another one at twice the price and not make very many changes. Unless the sound break is really that expensive, I think that LEGO is definitely going to try to upcharge on these sets. We also have the 75424, a $50 set, 75435, an $80 set, and the 75426, a $100 set, and then the 75427, a to be determined set. No rumor on that one just yet. So very, very odd choices from LEGO in my opinion on what they're going for with these sets. I don't know why they're making a whole wave of sets. It might be fun for kids, but it's just going to be super expensive, and LEGO definitely needs to make these, give something special to them aside from the sound break, either all prints or a bunch of minifigures included, or it's just not going to be a lot of fans' favorite sets. Alright, now we're going to jump into the May and June sets. We have the 75438 Yoda bust coming in at 399 pieces and a $50 price tag. It's going to be a small set with that low of a piece count, but it's hopefully going to be good. Maybe we'll see an updated Yoda minifigure in this one. And we also have the 75439 Darth Vader bust coming in with 50 less pieces at 349 pieces apparently, and a $60 price tag. 50 less pieces as well as a $10 price increase. I'm not sure what LEGO's thinking with this one. If this rumor is true, that is really crazy. Now we have the 75444. This is a 7+ set with 297 pieces. It's said to be including a $45 price tag. Now this really fits into that rumor of a Wolfpack battle pack, but we'll talk about that more in a minute. And then we have 3 unnamed Mandalorian and Grogu sets with the 75445 Mandalorian and Grogu set. This one's going to be $75. The 75446, a 1,200 piece set for $130. And then the 75447, a 930 piece set at $150. So that's going to be a nice wave of sets. Now there is still no rumor on the May UCS set, but we're going to talk about a UCS set rumor here in just a minute. And now for June, there are 2 rumored sets with the 75460 Mandalorian and Grogu set at an 8+ age rating, and the 75461 Mandalorian and Grogu set at a 12+ age rating. And finally, for July 1st of 2026, we have the 75459, a 14 plus set, and I can really only see this one being some sort of buildable character similar to what we saw with the Battle Droid and Stab Speeder that released this past July, so that LEGO will probably continue on with that trend to sort of give us something to hold us over until the ultimate massive, hopefully, August wave. Now, there are a couple of sets that don't have a set number attached to them but are still rumored for next year, starting off with an Emperor's Throne Room updated playset. Now, this one will probably just be a rehash of the last one we saw in like 2020. I'm not going to complain, that one was not a bad set, and I could see LEGO redoing this one. It's probably going to sell well with kids. It's such an iconic scene, and even if it's like an 8 plus, 10 plus set, I could see it costing around $100, and it would still probably be pretty popular. There was also a rumor for a playset Razor Crest. Now, this Razor Crest was probably going to be based off the upcoming movie because we saw that it in fact returned in the Mandalorian and Grogu trailers. So the fact this one would probably be the $130 set or maybe the $150 set at a Razor Crest, and I'm not going to complain. It's been a while since we saw the Razor Crest in LEGO as a playset, about 7 years by the time 2026 rolls around. And there is also a rumor for a new playset AT-AT. Now, this one might have been confused with the 18 plus AT-AT, but I could probably see a playset AT-AT coming out as well. I wouldn't complain. It would be really fun to see a new one with updated features, maybe maybe LEGO will implement a smart brick in it as well. That's a set I wouldn't complain about, a smart brick, but I feel like small sets don't really need a smart brick, but large playsets, I'm not going to complain too much about a smart brick inside of them. And finally, there is also a rumor for a Wolf Pack Battle Pack sometime next year. I'm sure you guys have heard about this, and I also assume that Commander Wolf will release sometime in 2026 as well, so keep an eye out for future rumors about that. And there was also a rumor that dropped that a UCS Super Star Destroyer is said to be releasing next year. This probably sourced from somebody that saw it early, I imagine, maybe at LEGO Fan Media Days. I'm not too sure though, but it's going to be very interesting to see how LEGO was to do this at like a massive scale, because the last one is huge. The 2011 or 2010 Super Star Destroyer is a massive set and one of the biggest LEGO sets LEGO's ever made. So topping that is going to be a difficult task by LEGO, especially with the amount of downscaling they've been doing recently. It's going to be a very large set if LEGO is going to try to make it bigger than the previous version. But I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. If you did enjoy this video, please let me know down in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for the support here on the channel over the past couple of weeks. It's been incredible, and I'm so excited to keep making content for you guys through 2026 as we get more and more rumors for everything that is releasing next year. Make sure to have a great rest of your day and a week. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.